Every once in a while I meet a Jew who tells me, Rabbi, I'm a Rosh Hashanah Jew. It's like this unique species of Jew who grew up on some island somewhere. It's called the Rosh Hashanah Jew. But I got a little secret for you. You know what? I'm also a Rosh Hashanah Jew. Let me explain. Let's think about it for a moment. What would get a Jew who hasn't been to synagogue all year, very little active involvement in Judaism, maybe hasn't even celebrated Passover or Hanukkah, and certainly hasn't put on tefillin or light Shabbat candles, all of a sudden once a year to take off from work, and they schlep to the synagogue, sit there all day, and then Yom Kippur, they put on sneakers with their suit, and they come to synagogue. What is it? If the person's not involved, if he or she are not involved with Judaism, what possesses them? What propels them to come to synagogue, even if it's once or twice a year? So let's think about it this way. We'll use an analogy. Imagine there's this fantastic king, a king who's literally adored by his assistants, by his advisors, by those who know him, the people in his community, the people in his town. People recognize this is not just a warrior. This is a brilliant king who really possesses the qualities of a royal. And the people in his city all have photos of the king hanging in their home. And in the neighboring towns, everyone knows of the king. They talk of the king. Perhaps they've seen the king once in their life. But then as you travel further and further away from the king's town, people know less and less about the king. Until you have that farmer who lives at the outskirts of the country, hardly even realizes that there's a king at all. But then there's that one day, maybe it's coronation day, or the day that the king happens to be passing by his town, and this villager sees, this farmer sees the royal entourage. He sees what royalty means. He sees the power. He sees the glory of the king. He sees the might of the king of his country. At that moment, that simple farmer, his heart is awoken. And he feels the passion. He feels the awe. He feels the love for the king. The king that just moments ago he seemed not to know anything about. You see, that's what the Tanya explains is really what a Jew is made of. Every Jew has two souls. We got a godly soul who's always seeking to connect to God, to connect to truth. And then you have an animal soul, the selfish soul. It's always looking to fulfill personal bodily desires. Doesn't want to take time away from caring for here and now, for self-gratification, for the enjoyment of the moment, to think about something greater than itself. And you have this battle. The godly soul wants us to think about purpose and meaning and God. You have the animal soul wants us to think about ourselves, about an ice cream, about a Danish, about making an extra dollar. And the battle is constantly being waged. And it's our job to choose the winner. It's our job to use our mind over heart, because naturally our animal soul is dominant. Naturally we live in a world where physical pleasures are more enticing than meaning and purpose, and intellectualism and godliness. And we got to use our mind over heart and get our godly soul to be dominant and give our godly soul expression. But it's not an easy battle. And some people are stronger than others. Some people put more effort. Some maybe had a better education in waging that battle. But we all fight that battle. So let's take that Jew who only comes on Rosh Hashanah. A whole year, his animal soul may be louder, more dominant, more present. But you have that day, coronation day, Rosh Hashanah, the day that we're coronating God as king. We sound the shofar. The soul wakes up. The soul is alive. And that Jew who seemingly had no active connection to Judaism comes running to the synagogue with the same passion as the most pious and active and religious Jew, because he has the same soul. It was just quiet for many months, but now it's awake. It's the farmer seeing the royalty, seeing the king. And the Jew who goes to synagogue once a month, he just chose to make his Rosh Hashanah more often. He's fighting the same battle. And he's on the next step. He meets the king on a monthly basis. And may it be through Shabbat candles once in a while, or putting on tefillin, or going to synagogue once a week or once a month. we're having a Rosh Hashanah Jew. Just Rosh Hashanah, once a month, once a week. Someone who's really religious will have Rosh Hashanah 3 times a day. Morning prayer, afternoon and evening. The more we work on ourselves, the more we study, the more we internalize what Rosh Hashanah means, our Rosh Hashanah is more frequent and deeper, more personal. So my dear friends, we're all Rosh Hashanah Jews. On our own level, we're all fighting the same battle, all trying to achieve the same goal. We're all Rosh Hashanah Jews. So I look forward to seeing you in synagogue this Rosh Hashanah. And it's our hope and prayer that we each, in our own battle, on our own level, we grow this year. And may we each this year, God willing, make our Rosh Hashanah a little more frequent and a little bit more deep and intense and meaningful than our Rosh Hashanahs last year. Shana Tova.